Hey YouTube, it's Marida from the Nurse Lounge, and today we're going to do another video. I am in my office, and it is a gloomy day here in Nashville, Tennessee today. It is raining, so if you do hear rain in the video, and I'm sitting right by the window, so ignore that. But we're going to do a video today on poor habits of students that are currently in my program or in nursing programs in general. And so I want to talk about these poor habits that students have so that you can prepare yourself for nursing school and to know that if you have these habits currently, you need to change them, because this will mean you will not be successful in the program, period. So let's go ahead and go through these real quick. Poor habits of students in the program. If you want to see what this video is about, definitely stay tuned. All right, and we are back. So I'm going to go through real quick the habits that I see, poor habits, shall I say, that I see nursing students do that inhibit their success. Inhibit, meaning they end up failing out the program because of these poor habits. So poor habit number one is they don't read. If your instructor tells you on the syllabus to read chapters 1 through 3, then read chapters 1 through 3. If you don't read the chapters, you cannot complain that the information's on the test and you didn't study for it. Prime example, I just gave a test to some students and many students failed the test. And they complained that it was never taught. Well, truth be told, it was actually taught, but in addition to that, it was on their syllabus that they had to read the chapter. Anything that they tell you to read is testable material. There is no way to go over everything you need to know from chapters of your book in a 2-hour or 3-hour period of time. So with that being said, you're supposed to come to class prepared, meaning you're supposed to read your chapters. If you don't read your chapters and they put information that they did not go over that was in that chapter on the test and you miss it or you get it wrong, that is on you. It is not on the instructor. You're responsible for all that material. So also, read your syllabus. I don't know how many students have asked me, do we have a final in this class? I'm like, did you read your syllabus? And I direct them right back to the syllabus. Read your syllabus. Read your class, read your textbook, read your emails, read your discussion forums. Read, read, read. That's the point. Poor habit number 2, they don't turn in their work. If you don't turn in your work and you get a 0, don't complain about that. That's all on you. If you didn't know how to do something, it is your responsibility to let the instructor know, I don't understand this, I don't know how to do it. They are not going to kind of hold your hand and say, hey, you didn't turn in your work. You just get a 0. And that's exactly what I do. I plug in a 0 in my grade book just like that. You all know that you need to turn in your work. Enough said. Poor habit number 3. They don't attend class or they come to class late. If you don't come to class, that's not going to hurt the instructor, it's hurting you. If you are missing valuable information or they have an in-class assignment and you don't come to class, in my class you get a 0 for that. You're required to come to every single class. We don't do absences. Now, mind you, people do get sick and things like that. Okay, we understand that. But we have people who, in my class, who decide they're going to fly out of town to go to Vegas and they're supposed to be in class. You're getting a 0 for today's assignment, period. That's how it is. You're not that serious about nursing school if you're trying to fly to Vegas today just to be out, going to Vegas. So if you don't attend class, you actually can't learn because you're not physically there. Or if it's virtual, you have, how hard is it to log on class from your house or wherever you are and attend class? Also, come to class on time. You are a disruption when you arrive to class late, whether it be physically late or whether it be late on the Zoom. You are a disruption to class. Come to class on time. Again, if you're habitually late, here at our program, we can lock doors here. meaning that if the class starts at 9 o'clock, the door's locked at 9 o'clock. If you outside that door at 9:01, you're not coming to class today. You don't come to class today, you miss class today, and guess what? It can inhibit your grade. So come to class. You are paying thousands of dollars to get this education. There is no reason why you should not be coming to class. Again, if you're sick, you're sick. We don't want you. We don't want what you got. That's understandable. When I'm talking about people who like, I ain't going to class today. Nope, don't work. Don't work in nursing school. Poor habit number 4. You don't know how to study or write. So if you don't know how to study, then you need to take some study skills classes. If you don't know how to write, you go to the writing lab. I have so many students who have grammatical errors and get upset because I take points off because you don't know how to write. It's not my responsibility to teach you how to write, okay? Once you get to the nursing program, you've had English class. You have been in school from kindergarten to 12th grade already. You should know how to write a little bit better than you do. If you do not know how to write, as a college student, it is your responsibility to go to the writing lab or find somebody to help you, teach you how to write better. When it comes to studying, you may need to get a mentor, you may need to get a tutor, but it is your responsibility to do so. It's not the instructor's responsibility to make sure you know the material. It is yours. And if you don't know the material, you come to the instructor and say, I don't understand this. And he or she is supposed to either get you help or help you themselves, or tell you to find you a tutor or a mentor. Poor habit number 5, your priorities are all wrong. If you watch my videos on acclimating yourself to college life, or the one that I'm going to put up, I'm not sure it's coming up, this one or another one, in my nursing school ready, I've talked about adapting to college life and the Greek life if you're planning on being part of a Greek organization. If you want to be Greek and you want to pledge, then don't go to nursing school. If you are trying to do both at the same time, it's not going to cut it and you're going to fail nursing school. So your priorities are wrong. Maybe you up here want to go to the movies or go out, carry on, but you have a test tomorrow and you didn't study for the test. Well, you're going to fail the test. So, no, there are no redos. There are no retakes. We don't, at least here in my program, we don't curve grades. Now, we may throw some questions out if the tests were kind of come back kind of bad, where there's a certain question that nobody got right or something like that. We may throw a question out. But in terms of just curving grades, we don't curve grades, and you don't get extra credit with us in nursing school, not on my program. There's no extra credit. So either you know it or you don't. You don't come in here talking about, can we get extra credit? No, this ain't high school. We don't do that. This is nursing school. We want professional nurses to come out of this program. We want to weed out. And let me go ahead and say this. This sounds bad, but this is the truth. My job is to see who is nursing school ready. My job is to weed out the ones who are not. So if you don't come to class, if you don't turn in your work, if you don't follow directions, we're going to weed you out. You can be out the program. And a lot of times you do it on your own because you don't come to class, you don't turn your work in, so you get zeros and Fs, and then you out the program anyway. Or you don't get accepted into the program because your GPA is too low. We don't want everybody in nursing school. The same way you don't want everybody to be a doctor. Do you want somebody to be a doctor who decided they was going to go party instead of come to their class or do their clinical or do their training? Do you want somebody who just made a D and got by and they doing surgery on you? Is that what you want? Same thing when it comes to being nursing, to be a nurse. We don't want everybody in the program. Not because we don't want people to be successful, but we want to weed out the good from the bad. The ones who are qualified from the ones who are not qualified. If you want to be qualified, you're going to put your priorities and get them straight. I told my students the other day, I can tell we have a 3.5 GPA requirement. I can tell who has a 3.5 and who don't by the way they turn in their work or not turn in their work. I can tell just straight up off the top, just like that. Because if you're not turning in your work, that tells me your GPA is not a 3.5, because that's a habit that you have. That's not just this situation, especially when you keep on not turning in work. So I know that off top, you're not ready for nursing school and stuff like that. Poor habit number 6. You are full of excuses. We're not trying to hear that. That's just point blank period. I ain't even trying to hear no excuses as to why I didn't do this. Well, I have kids. Well, so do I. And so do many of the other students that have kids. And again, you should have thought about that before you come to nursing school. Thought about who's going to take care of the kids. Thought about how things are going to happen. And that's not to sound mean, because I had kids in nursing school too, but they didn't play. You knew when you joined or signed up for this that you had kids. You know that you need to make provisions regarding making sure that they have transportation, childcare, things that they need while you're in school. Nursing school is the hardest thing that I have ever done. I will say that. So therefore, we don't want, we don't want the excuses. We're not even trying to hear that. We trying to see the ones who, okay, they have life issues, but they somehow work around them and push forward regardless. That's what we're looking for. Poor habit number 7, you have poor school or work ethic. This ties into some of all the other things we were talking about. You don't come to class. You show up late half the time when you come. You don't turn your work in. So this is kind of a combination of all these things put together. You are unprofessional. You don't want to do your work. You halfway do your work. Just things like that. Your work ethic, your school efforts, everything you do is subpar. And again, if you're not ready to put in the work, don't come to the program. Poor habit. The last poor habit I have is that you're not academically prepared. And what I mean by that is your GPA is not high enough. You did not do well in your science classes. I've said this before, you need to be making A's and B's in those science classes. A's and B's in your micro, your A and P, your patho if you have to take patho, and your chemistry if you take chemistry. Depends on what you have to take, but I'm just saying A and P for sure. And your micro, you need A's and B's in those classes. Those are foundation courses for nursing school. If you don't know your A and P, they're not teaching A and P in nursing school. They're not teaching it. So they expect you to come in knowing how to do, or knowing your anatomy and physiology. And they build from there. They're not going back to reteach anything from A and P. So if you don't know it, you are going to struggle. So you need to make sure you have an A or a B, if possible, in those classes. If you have the opportunity to repeat the class, repeat the class. But here in our program, we take your first grade. So we only allow you to take it once. Meaning that you can take it again, but they're going to look at your first attempt. And your first attempt, if it's not an A or a B or a C, you're not going to be in the program. So that's just how it is. We want qualified students to be in these programs so that we can put out the best nurses possible. So that's something that for you to be mindful of. So again, this was just a list of the poor habits of students who currently in the programs that I've seen here lately. And we need to correct those things. And so I'm giving you that bit of information, and I pass this along to my students as well, but I'm giving you this bit of information because I want you to be prepared for nursing school. And I want you to go ahead and fix those bad habits that you may have if you have these habits right now. And maybe procrastination is the issue that you have, fix it. Maybe you cram for exams, fix that. Maybe you don't know how to take notes, fix that. Fix all these problems before you come to the nursing program, because if you do get in the program, the rigor that's required, the self-discipline that's required, the motivation that's required is going to require you to have all these properties in place and doing the best that you can. And again, we're not looking for excuses. So if you want to be successful, these are the things that you have to do, have to fix, shall I say, to be successful in the program. It's truly about your success in the program and us putting out the best nurses we can put out. And that's what I'm about. I'm not into recruiting nurses just to say, hey, come on. I'm a quality nurse over quantity nurse, meaning that I'd rather have 10 students in the program who gonna nail it than have 50 just for 40 of them to fail because they're subpar. We don't want subpar students in our program. We want students who are willing to put in the work. If you're willing to put in the work, you will be a successful nurse, period. And I'm not talking about GPAs when in the program. I'm talking about just your success as a nurse in terms of when you get out of school. So once you get into the program, and one more thing, we had this discussion the other day. I have students who come into the program who are used to making straight A's. Once you get into nursing, you're going to see them grades tank. You're going to be making B's and C's. Look, I've never made a B or a C in my life. Well, you're going to start making them in nursing school, because nursing school is the hardest thing that you will ever do. Now, some people, things come naturally to. Did not come naturally to me. As I've told you all before, I took anatomy and physiology 3 times. 3 times, okay? But here I am. I have a doctoral degree now. Once I got my stuff together and start taking it seriously, then the results started to happen. You will not see results if you don't put in the effort. You have to put in the effort. So definitely, if you have questions or comments, leave those in the comment section below. Let's chat in the comments as we usually do. I definitely want to enlighten you about what it's like and what you have to do to be successful in the nursing program. If you want to be a nurse, I'm here to help you be that nurse. If you're here to play, don't even come over here. Don't even put no comment in there. If you're not serious about nursing school, I'm not here for you. I'm only here for the ones who are serious about being a nurse because they truly want to be an agent of change and help patients get better. They want to save lives. They're not in here just to make money. If you're here for the money, I'm not even the one you want to talk to, because nursing ain't for you anyway. If you're here for the money, because the money that we make decent money, don't get me wrong. But what you have to go through ain't even worth it sometimes for the money. So if you're not here for the job, this is not for you. Anyway, thank you for watching this video in its entirety. Please like, comment, share. I'm trying to get my channel to 2,000 subscribers, because when I hit 2,000, if you saw my announcement already, or if not, I'm going to tell you here. I'm going to start a live segment where I go live probably every week, called In Class with Dr. Marida P, where we talk about nursing issues and I answer your nursing questions live. And so if you want that to happen, we have to get to 2,000 subscribers. So thank you so much for watching this video. Until the next time, you all take care. Bye-bye.